now driving on the highway, and today's topic of founding a car is the road to success, because there is an analogy between driving, as I'm now doing, towards your goal, and it's in this case my house, and the road to success. So you have a goal that you want to go to, but sometimes also you see that a lot of other persons also have a similar goal, because the road is crowded with other cars. And sometimes it's so much crowded that you get a traffic jam, for example. Oftentimes the road to success is not a road that all the persons take. Because if you try to go that route, you will get stuck. You're stuck in a traffic jam, but also stuck in life. And why is that? There is no cookie cutter build that will always work. Because if it's too successful, the reaction of the market is that a lot of people will do it, and then it will become harder to do. So it's not easy to cut the cookies anymore, so to say. And therefore it's good to also try to reinvent yourself. Of course, it's smart to not reinvent the wheel all the time. If you know that something is working, please do it the way it is working already. And therefore you get some advantages, because you have more energy to focus on ways that are not working so great and where you can improve upon. So if there's already an alternative that works pretty well, and you can only increase it like 2 or 3%, the advantages of what you bring your innovation are a lot less great than when you have something that is working for 60% or similar, and you are able to improve that to 70 or 80%, because that means that you can improve it by 1 to 2/6, and 2/6 is 1/3 of the amount. Whereas if something is working 90% and you're able to improve to 92%, you only improve it about 2.2%. But that's not such a big advantage. And oftentimes, because it already is such a great system that works already pretty well, that there are diminutive returns in your progression. But I'm not trying to sidetrack here, I'm just trying to state that if you want the road to success, of course you can do as everyone is doing, and that is a proven path, so that's the benefit of that. But also it's very wise to look if there are other ways that are not so well treaded already and not so crowded, but perhaps in your case could be more efficient. And you can also have a hybrid model, that you do partly what everybody is doing, so it's a little bit about risk management, but you also do, for example, half of your efforts, or 10% or 20% on a high risk path that could be hit or miss. But if it's a hit, perhaps you have a lot more gains. And of course, if you would put all 100% of your effort or time or means in the cookie cutter builds, that is already expanded because everyone is doing it, it's pretty crowded, and it's quite a guarantee for success, but not that big of a success. Of course, you might have bigger chances with a higher guarantee, so to say. But also, it will never be world shocking. Whereas the half of your time or 10% of your time put into a high risk object could be completely a miss. But if it is a hit, then you have perhaps huge gains. You could also put all the time, of course, in the high risk approach, but then perhaps you're not able to live anymore, because there are also costs of living, etc. So there's oftentimes, even with the most extreme type of person, there is a compromise, because you want something that's at least keeps you going on the road to success, and otherwise you might do something quite daring to have a higher chance on getting success in a limited time frame. Because the road to success is not only the road that you have to tread, and that other people are also treading, but also the time that you need to be on that road. And with the high risk, high return, of course, the time can be decreased a lot. That's something to consider as well. Of course, there is a higher risk, but also potentially a higher return, and with the threat that everyone is approaching, there's also an enormous risk and a guaranteed lower return if there is success. So everything is about risk and mitigating risk, and also about showing balls, showing cojones to do things that others are not that much willing to do, and that is often favored, because you do something that has a higher risk but also often a higher return, which you can then monetize upon and valorize that. I hope this short video helps you. Found my car out.